I read, admittedly, I think it was just in a blog. I don't know how scientifically based it was, but it said something like that about 50%, that feels too low now, maybe 50 or 60% of people cannot or do not get goosebumps when they listen to music. Does that sound accurate to you?
Yeah, this was a researcher who's based at USC in the university in LA.
Right.
He did his PhD, and not everyone gets that effect. And you can tune into it though. That there's a song that produces that effect. It was listed as being the song most likely to produce chills,
I just can't,
and
like,
it was Rolling Stones song "Gimme Shelter,"
really.
because and because there's a, I don't know if you can remember this song there, but it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this like that was a good
It's pretty
impression,
good.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
you nailed it.
Right, and but that voice, that female voice, that shrieking kind of high pitched, wow, it's kind of like, whoa, what's going on there? Is that, and that really triggers our biological systems, and so yeah,
It's like, I
it
can't imagine. Like, I said to my girlfriend a few weeks or months ago after I had read it, I was like, "Can you believe this shit?" And it felt like a handicap for half the population or something. Like, because I think back to when I was super into music and obsessing over bands and producers and so on. And I would, if I listened to, I used to be a big Imogen Heap fan. I don't know if you're familiar with her stuff. And there's a song that I can't even remember the fucking name of now. How embarrassing! But it was off like her solo album after she left the group that she had with Guy Sixworth. And anyway, there's like a sort of a sort of gradual crescendo of strings on it, and it sounded
yeah
like the right side of like a little bit sad, but a little bit kind of motivatey. And anyway, just at the climax of this crescendo, like I remember listening to it and just thinking like, oh god, like I could feel the goosebumps like bump out from behind my neck all the way down both arms. And I've had that experience a few times with different songs. Usually the first few times I hear it, but it's an incredible experience to be truly emotionally moved by a piece of music, by something that's just
yeah
a load of chords and then the right plucking at the right time with the right harmonies layered over the, like, to have that taken away from you, to not be able to experience that, to me feels like you're missing a real fundamental part of the human experience, which I know
yeah
probably sounds a bit over
and
the top,
and
but it's
and in some ways it's also, it isn't necessarily that people can't experience that. It's that they're not listening properly, right? We've become a bit passive in our listening
mm,
activity, where music's background music. We're not truly focused in on it. Like, we used to put a vinyl on and listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's what came out of my PhD research, actually. It's like, why do memories from youth have such like mega impact on us throughout our entire life, even in late stage dementia, when nothing else reaches people? Songs from their youth will still trigger memories, and they'll sing the song with you, and because back in the day, the way that we listened to music was very repetitive, very focused, very attentive.
yeah.
And if people now don't listen to music in that way, then they don't get the full effect, because they're not focusing their attention on the detail of the music.
Yeah, I can see that. But do you think that will be the same for like these kids today? So that, like, imagine a sort of 18-year-old now versus an 18-year-old. I was 18 in 98. And there was no Spotify, there was no YouTube, there was just, you'd buy an album. I sound like a right old fogey now, but like when like you'd buy a CD in the hope that
What?
all of the tracks would be good and there wouldn't be any filler, but you'd buy it and, you know, 9 times out of 10 there would be a lot of filler and it would be shit, but you'd buy it and then you'd just listen to it out of, you know, persevere, like maybe if I listen to it enough then I'll get into it. And now I think, you know, they've got this just limitless broken fire hydrant just spraying out new content to them constantly. And it's the same with, you know, box sets and movies. It's just like endless supply that nothing is actually special anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, like, when the kids who are sort of, you know, 17 or 18 now get to dementia, what is it going to have the same effect, do you think?
I don't. We've had this conversation many times with many people, and I don't know. You still get that attachment to certain bands. So obviously, you know, you've got, you know, Ed Sheeran, One Direction, BTS. You got, you know, fans. There are still fans.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is that still repeat listening experience around those albums that come out. But it is very different, and there's so much more choice, as you say.